Hello, welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report. It is the 5th of March, about 8:20 p.m. Central Time, my time. I haven't cut a video in 10 days because there hasn't been much to talk about. Nothing's been happening. I look on YouTube. I watch Chat Sports with Tom Downey, and it's just this trade after that trade. Are the Cowboys going to sign this guy? Are they going to do this? All scenarios. And it's just really clickbait. They got nothing to talk about right now except what could happen. I'm sorry, guys. I can't just, especially that I can't go live yet. I'm not at 1,000. Please subscribe, like, and share. Show is still young and growing. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, I can go live. And my live shows will be live, if you know what I'm talking about. You will be entertained. We all enjoy Law Nation's live shows, his call-in line. I love it. I call in. I'll have a call-in line also once a month, like a Zoom-in line. So y'all can, agree with me, disagree with me, or we can just chop it up about the passion we share, the blue and silver bleed that we all collectively bleed, Cowboy Nation. So 10 days since I cut a video. One thing that we know is that we're keeping Tony Pollard. That's for sure. Don't know if we're going to tag him or get him on a deal. But we're going to keep him. Out of everybody that's up to be re-signed, he will be re-signed. You can put that in concrete. Jerry and Steven, Dr. Jerry, Dr. Steven, say Terrence Steele will be ready for training camp coming off the torn ACL. And Tony Pollard be ready for training camp coming off the broken leg and high ankle sprain. Tony Pollard, a lot more believable. Terrence Steele, not as much. Now, I know Michael Gallup had a slump season coming off a torn ACL, but I think being a wide receiver coming off a torn ACL, being where you make your living off making cuts, running routes, is a little bit different than a right tackle. I don't think Terrence Steele will be like Gallup was last season at right tackle. He might be rusty the first few games, but I think he'll get back in rhythm and be the dominant Terrence Steele that we've, grown to know and love from 2020, 2021, where I said he should have kept the job over Collins to last season. Mel Kiper just had his mock draft. At pick 26, of all people, he has us drafting 24-year-old tight end Dalton Kincaid. Got a lot of stats, receiving stats, not a great blocker, kind of undersized for a tight end. And on the board, while we're making this pick, you still have Osiris Torrance, offensive guard on the board, who didn't allow a sack in his collegiate career, and Bijan Robinson, the running back, and one of the top safeties. We're not drafting a tight end in round one. We got Jason Kelsey Jr. and Jake Ferguson, basically, as our tight end one now. Peyton Hendershot, Sean McEwen. And this draft class is loaded with tight ends and running backs. So even if Bijan Robinson is on the board at pick 26, he could be taken. Don't get me wrong, because if he's on the board, then we re-sign Pollard and we cut Zeke. And then we got Pollard and Robinson. A hell of a 1-2 punch, just like Zeke and Pollard were, but probably better. But if Bijan Robinson is on the board at pick 26, and we still got a player that's like an Osiris Torrance or a Devin Witherspoon on the board also, or who's that center that the number one center that Schmitz, I think is the last name. The best center in the draft. Can play center or guard. And said he had a good talk with, the Cowboys brass and whatnot. and wouldn't mind playing center or guard for us, would love to. If players of need, top flight players of need, are on the board also, along with Robinson, it's a Robinson's there at 26, and we got that, top ranked center, Osiris Torrance, Devin Witherspoon. Well, we're gonna probably go for one of those guys instead of Bijan Robinson, being that Zeke will restructure his deal. He's not going to play anywhere else. Nobody's going to pay him big money. Pollard has been making, what, $900K a year? $1 million, maybe? Yeah, sign Pollard. Like I said, 4 years, $40 million. And restructure Zeke's $17 million cap hit. Restructure it down to like 4 or 5. You do that, and then you bring back both the running backs, and you're not spending any more money at the running back position. You're spending about the same at the running back position. And Zeke still has juice left. Like I said, the first 13 of the 15 regular season games that he played, he averaged 4.2 yards a carry, had 11 touchdowns. Just got banged up down the stretch. If we had him for the Packers game, if he wasn't hurt for the Packers game, we would have won that game. Because in the fourth quarter, Pollard was gassed. He had no more left in him. And Elliott could have ran the ball down Green Bay's throat, as we were doing effectively throughout the game. And he would have gotten a few key first downs to extend drives and keep the ball out of Rodgers' hands. And possibly gotten us in the field goal range to get that 3 points that would have kept the game out of overtime. Zeke is not close to the 2016, 17, 18, or 19 Zeke. We know this, but he is still a good running back. And if we can get him to $4 to $5 million a year, that's perfect. Because he's like a running back that can play fullback also. He can lead block for Pollard. And, you got them both on the field at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. And with McCarthy calling plays now, instead of Kellen, Mike knows this team, the offense goes to the run, not the pass. Kellen Moore in Boise State was such an aerial attack. That's all he knows. And he's trying to make Dak into a quarterback that he's not. So I think McCarthy's going to simplify the offense, run the ball more, and not put Dak in these positions to where he thinks he's got to thread these needles that he can't thread. I was watching highlights of the 03 season, and I was watching Quincy Carter really thread some needles that year that we went 10-6, Parcells' first year with us. Quincy Carter's passing ability that year looked pretty close to Dak's. Go and look at the 2003 highlights. It's on YouTube. We start off 5-1, go to 7-2, but finish 10-6. Keep Dak as game manager and no more. And tell him we know what you can do. But on a 2nd and 2, even if we go 5 wide, and we're at the 18 of the opponent's side of the field, 2nd and 2, and you got a 7-yard lane open in front of you where you could take off and get inside the 10, do it. Don't sit there and try to throw it to CeeDee Lamb when he's double covered. What are you thinking? So just take those kind of decisions out of Dak's hands. Insert the good left guard. Offensive line is complete. Running game is smash good. And get that third receiver. It can even be Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell's got the speed. That speed could be what we need to mix with Lamb and a Gallup coming off the ACL in his second year. Gallup will be the Gallup that we know this coming season. He will be a 1,000-yard receiver. We'll have 2,000-yard receivers, Lamb and Gallup. 1 second. I do apologize for that. 5-year-old and 7-year-old told them to keep it down, cutting a video, and they won't. They just, I guess, forgot what I said, so I had to put them in mind. So yeah, that's really about it. And Tyron Smith, he's going to stay. He's not going to retire. He's going to stay. And worst case scenario, he might have to play right tackle for the first few weeks of the season. Which, if he goes training camp, all through training camp, and is healthy going into the beginning of the season, should be just fine. Because he wasn't great when he stepped in for Steele, because he had been rehabbing all year. Got that hamstring bone, that hamstring detached from the bone. Rehab from that, got back quick in December. Wasn't really 100%. Went to the right side where he hadn't played since 2011. But going through a full off season and being healthy, if Steele is not ready for, say, the first 2 or 3 games, I think Ty Smith could do a really good job holding down the right side until Steele is ready. And then be a great swing tackle. And I know Stephen Jones said they're comfortable with his cap number. BS. If he stays and he is our swing tackle, he will not be a $17.6 million cap hit. He's a team player. He's never really cared about money. The contract that we got on him was like the biggest, like the best steal of the decade for a player of his caliber. They could probably get him down from 17 to probably 7. Which is not bad at all for that quality of a swing tackle. And at his stage of his career, that's what he should be. He shouldn't be a starter because he can't play all season. And he has a tendency to sustain major injuries now that keep him out a long time. So swing tackle, perfect. If you got to put him in 2, 3, 4 games, beautiful. He can handle that and then get back to the bench. And then playoff time comes, if Tyler, who's going to be a freaking beast in year 2, if Tyler goes down, God forbid, in January, then you got the Gold Jacket Hall of Famer coming in to step right in. Beautiful. We are set up, if we make the right moves, we are set up to make the run this year. And this is not that every season Super Bowl Cowboy talk. This is a real deal. This team is so young, so talented. We just need a few really good outside players, and we'll be on. I'm not going to speculate on who we're bringing in. DeAndre Hopkins, probably not. Odell Beckham, probably not. The wide receiver that we get will probably be a guy that wasn't even mentioned about coming to us. You know, I mean, it's all just hearsay right now. So all these videos about all these trade rumors are crap. They're all crap and clickbait, and I can't stand it. And I can't make videos and just talk about, you know, what if, could have. You know, March 15th, the new league season starts. And that's when we should see some action. The one thing I know, so keep him Pollard, because he is a monster. He is a game breaker. And I think our first round pick is going to be a monster. We draft so damn well. And if like Devon Witherspoon is available at pick 23, or that Schmitz guy, the best ranked center right now in the draft, or Osiris Torrance is open in the early 20s and have not been taken off the board, I wouldn't be surprised if we trade up a few spots just to land that talent. Because one of those 2 linemen will be here for the next 10 years and probably be a hit and be an all pro bowler every year, like Frederick was. or Witherspoon, who I think has, could be as good as Patrick Surtain was his rookie year. Pro Bowler. Probably not as good as Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is, God, man, look at his stats of last year. Sauce Gardner was freaking shut down. I would trade 2 firsts for him. I really would. If I was Steven, I would trade 2 first-round picks and Kelvin Joseph for Sauce Gardner Johnson. Sure would. That would shore up our defense. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? That's just, that's clickbait crap. But please subscribe, like, and share, guys. I would like to get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of the 2023 season. I can't get there without y'all's help. Please subscribe, like, and share. Every subscriber counts. When I can start doing live shows, guys, I guarantee you, y'all will be entertained. Y'all will love it. It will be interactive. It will be fun. And it will be the real deal. I'm 36. I've been watching this team since I was 6. Super Bowl 28 was my first game when they were playing Buffalo in the Super Bowl. My dad hated the Cowboys. Don't know why. He was going for Buffalo. I fell in love with the star. They were losing at halftime, 13-6. I said one of my first prayers. They came back and won, 30-13. And I thought because of my prayer that I said is why they won. And so I make a joke that the Cowboys led me to Christ. Kind of, it's kind of funny. Ever since then, from the 94 season on, I've bled blue. I sat there and watched us go down 21-0 in the first quarter at San Fran and Candlestick in the championship game in 94 and make a valiant comeback, but fall short 10 points. That was pass interference when Prime put his left hand right all of him Michael Irvin's grill. Michael Irvin catches that ball. We win that game, but that's ancient history. Saw us beat Green Bay in the championship game the next year. Beat Pittsburgh in Super Bowl 30. Fall to Carolina in the second round of 96. 97, go 6-10. 98, go 10-6. Lose to Arizona in the first round. 99, go 8-8. Michael Irvin's final season. If he doesn't go down in week 4, we probably make a run, but we go 8-8. Lose to Minnesota in the wild card round. Then we had the 3 straight years of Dave Campo, 5-11. Then Bill Parcells comes in 10-6. We're looking at a great 2004. Quincy Cody gets busted for drugs, blah, blah, blah. We go 6-10. The complete opposite. 2005. Bring in Drew Bledsoe. Yeah, let's do it. A kind of win and get in scenario. Washington blows us out. 42-7, something like that. Finish 9-7. 06. Romo replaces Bledsoe Monday night against the Giants. We finish 9-7, make the playoffs. Lose against Seattle as the famous botched snap. 07, 13-3. Giants knock us off. 08. We go 8-8. Miss the playoffs. 2009, go 11-5, make the playoffs, get a playoff win against Philly. It was the division winner, week 17, 2009. Cowboys beat Philly to win the division. So the very next weekend, Philly had to come back to Dallas for the wild card round. We rout them 34-7. We go to Minnesota. We're pumped up. Brett Favre and company beats us down 34-3. 2010, big aspirations. And we're horrible. Wade Phillips gets fired. Jason Garrett gets promoted. We went 7-9 that year. After like a 1-7 start. 2011 through 2013, 8-8, as you know, lose a win and get in. Scenario against the Giants, Redskins, and Eagles, all 3 seasons. 2014, 12-4. Even though we beat Seattle, we didn't play Green Bay. We all had a 12-4 record. We got the short end of the stick. Didn't get the bye week. Beat Detroit. Dez caught it, but we lost. 2015, Romo breaks his collarbone week 2. We start off 2-0, but no Romo, no Winnow. 4-12, which gave us Zeke and Dak. In 2016, 13-3. Green Bay does it to us again in the second round. 2017, Zeke suspended 6 games. We go 3-3 in that stretch. Finished 9-7, missed the playoffs. 2018, start 3-5. Cooper's trade turns the team around. We finished the season 7-1. So we go 10-6, beat Seattle, and lose against Rams by 8 because they had two guys go for 100 yards on us on the ground. Big hype in 2019. Dak runs over 3 horrible teams, then wants a huge contract because he runs over 3 horrible teams because he thinks he's the greatest at that point. And then he goes up against New Orleans, can't score over 10. Starts playing good teams, can't score. Finish 8-8 that season, don't make the playoffs. 2020, breaks his leg. Season was lost. The whole offensive line was out for the year. 2021, 12-5, one and done. And then last year, 12-5. Won a road playoff game since the first time since 92? Yeah. No, 92 or 91. But, yeah. And then fall short against San Fran. That's just, I've got a Rolodex in my head. When you love something that much, it's like that. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek Him in His righteousness, and everything else will fall in place. Guys, I feel I need to say that in every video. I'm a living testimony of that. Please subscribe, like, and share, guys. And once the 2023 season starts and it pops off, I'll be popping out videos and putting it down real, guys. Please follow Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. Help me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Y'all will not regret it. It's an investment on y'all's part. And I guarantee you, I will shoot it to y'all straight. Keep y'all entertained. I'm not a homer. I give it to you straight. Last season, I said we'd win at least 12 games, if not more. Everybody said I was crazy because we had a horrible offseason, but I said we had addition by subtraction, except for the Cooper deal, which was dumb. We could have got a first and second for him. But whatever. And we go 12-5. Win a road playoff game. And 2 interceptions away from NFC Championship game. And hey, I was accused of being a homer for predicting that kind of season, but I knew what we had, and I know what we have now. It's even better than what we had last year. So, guys, stay tuned for my next cut. Catch y'all later. Charles in Charge is out.